Gotcha. So every hole is going to be closed here. Let's jump into the draft, and we're already seeing right off the bat they are so quick. We got the Onic, we've already got the Eve, we've already got the Kajita, Joy, Yutong, and as well as Wanwan. Now, I mean, it's so quick. It's so quick. How do you keep up with this? Echo instantly taking up Carl TC's signature inside that Lancelot and Dalar. What can you say about this?
They already know each other.
Yeah. They're so prepared. They've done their homework.
They've done more than their homework. They've done extra credit on each other, right?
It just makes sense, right? From this particular position, Wolf, you were talking about overall team compositions, right? Which direction right now?
Okay, definitely for pick-up for the side of Echo. Well, on the side of Onic, they want to keep, maybe Valentina. Oh, there you go, the Valentina. Very important for them to take. And so far, they haven't revealed anything yet. Maybe surely you have the glue. I doubt though. Onic, sometimes they kind of flex that. So we don't know yet.
I think they're gonna pick Faramis.
Faramis instantly to try and counter out that glue. That could be a potential possibility. Valentina is still up, so you can at least take the, call Altar for yourself to play a little bit more defensively. But every time when we look at that first pick, they always got to pose those questions. What questions are we looking to see here from Echo? And they answer us straight away.
Farsa.
Farsa instead.
Instead of Faramis.
Yeah, no fairness up against the glue. I would have expected the same thing up against the glue. Very good, but it almost seems like it was too good to be true. It almost seems like Onic wanted them to play the fairness, so they take the other route.
I would say though, Sans played mean Farsa, but knowing that there's already I think that this is a very early Farsa, but we do know Echo Express, part of the conditions there is burst, and Kaja plus the Farsa, there's a lot of burst in there for Echo.
What about you, Dalar? Where else? You're in Onyx shoes right now.
I think Farsa also good because if you connect with Kaja, can punish the glue.
Yes.
Almost instantaneously. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the glue. It's whoever walks up to the bush first and gets punished. Now,
I think Kairi gonna play Assassin.
He's gonna play Assassin?
Yeah.
Hayabusa, maybe?
Keep that in mind, boys. Keep that in mind. Kairi on this Assassin. Should get the quad first. It's still safe. Now we start moving into the second phase. I don't know. Is Echo gonna let him play the Assassin comfortably, though?
Knowing Coach Trevor and the entirety of Echo, no. I think that they will see through this.
The Ling out of there.
Yeah, they're gonna ban out Ling as well as Hayabusa, perhaps, and then force Onic to pick up a weird, like a weird assassin. They are prepared though. They have the Kaja. Maybe they are gonna let Fanny at most. Hayabusa maybe not.
Fanny at most. Hayabusa not. All right. But why give the early game pressure, right? I mean, we're seeing the Beatrix get banned out. At least Onic, they're thinking about the overall side lanes as well. They're not just targeting, okay, we're going to get hit from the Assassin area. Let's make sure that we can actually have a somewhat of a convenient lane. Get rid of the Beatrix. We don't want you to be able to move out of this lane.
Also, watch out for the Kairi. The Kairi, rather. Also, they should ban out the Kairi here.
Benny Cutie carry for Echo. It's actually pretty strong, and in combination with the Kaja, that's a lot of burst that you have, and it is a traditional play for Echo. Somebody gets snagged even when it's attacked, because it's a carry, you will be bursted down.
All right, that's a fair point. Dalar, in your position, right, looking at where we're going so far as a glue, what are you afraid of from the side of Echo? Because it doesn't feel like you can really get punished just yet other than just Kaja.
I think it's already enough the first 3 picks of Echo, but they need follow-up damage to punish Glue and Cloud.
Follow-up damage. I'm looking at Wolf. What are we looking for follow-up damage?
Would have said that it's the Grok, so that you
can punish it.
Si Kairi, pwede pa rin should be there. Brody, explain maybe. Oh, well. Let's draft. Come on.
They are going real fast. They are
This is an M4 draft.
Right? They are just going at it quick. And a lot of playmaking capabilities from the side of Echo. Onic with their very last pick, and the invisible Gilang Sangs. Wow, 0 deaths during the 3-0 series against EVO's Legends. Man, production doing us dirty here.
Even Dalar can't kill him.
Yeah. Katulad ng sabi ko kanina, follow-up damage carry. Sobrang ganda ng combo ng carry Kaja Farsa.
Yep, Dalar loved the Fanny combo with the Farsa and the Kaja. They close up with the Fanny, there it is.
You called it. Yep. He knows his boy. Of course he knows his boy.
I already know there.
All right, Dalar. Tell us, which composition do you think is better right now? Is it Echo or is it Onic?
Seriously, it's hard to Kairi, Fanny, Kalaw Diaz, Snowball in early. Pasti manang. Tapi Kalaw 50-50. Onic bisa kala.
It all relies on Kairi snowballing in the start. If they get the snowball going, they will win on it. But if it's 50-50 in the mid game, Echo will take over.
Because it's hard to, right now, Fanny so hard to snowball right now in the early game. Because of the Dreadnought and other itemization, right?
Man, it's great having professional players on the table. Thank you so much, Dalar here. Thank you for giving your insights for this game. But I think everybody is ready. Leo, would you like to take us in to the Land of Dawn?
I would love to. It's time for what many would call a grand finals worthy matchup. It's game 1 between Echo and Onic.
Oh, I think I kind of agree with Delar. Surely, we did say that they will let go of the Fanny at most, and the Hayabusa definitely going to be banned out. It's exactly what happened. The Kaja is prepared for this Fanny. The only reason why they would let this, they would still get the Fannies because the carry eventually was picked up. So there's a lot of like battle between the the junglers now, and I just love the fact that both teams gave us a first pick Lancelot, last pick Fanny, Kairi versus Kaltizi. This is like Christmas for me.
This is an anime in the making. It's bookending the start of what could be a 5-game series.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it does go 5 games. Because if I can curse something, I won't curse the teams. I'll curse that it's going to be 3-0. To make it 3-2, I'm going to try to reverse the odds right now. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it's how it works. But, you know, Leo, Wolf, or something
na-stream ko guys,
they all have K as their initial letter. Like Kairi, Carl TZ,
Cleo,
Kyle TZ, Cleo, Kirko, Kulf,
Clefel,
Koba Zane.
Okay. Oh, but
that's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
But they will, definitely.
They will.
I'm expecting a lot of anime moments in this game 1. And this, if anything, this is Echo Express.
This is definitely Echo Express. All of the ingredients are there. You have Yawi's setup hero. It's not an AoE setup. This is a snag. You have the Kaja together with Farsa. So you already have the burst. And the thing is, they have low cooldown ultimates as well. Maybe the longest one probably is the Divine Judgment. But the entirety of the kit that you have from Echo, spammable. All of them, right? So that's it all fits the bill. While for the side of Onic, very, very dependent on ultimates.
With that being said, it's a counter start for both of our junglers, the GOAT and the One. Orange for Kairi, Carl TZ go for purple here.
Early start, again, it's just the orange buff. It's a very unique path that Kairi is taking, but in the bottom lane, this is something we don't see a whole lot of. Boots already winning in lane early on the glue matchup against the Lapu.
Oh, Dilar did mention that you gotta watch out for Boots and Chewe. Here in mid, it's a little wonder take for Onic. So already looking good in this rematch coming in from M4.
Okay, we're seeing a few trades as well, but honestly, Wolf, anything interesting when it comes to the emblems or talents here?
Not so much. I guess the Magic Worship has been, onto the Farsa has been getting a lot of attention. Now Sanji is going to be picking it up. You have to worry if you're the Claude, get hit by 2 Feather Sharks. In the late game, you might die.
Oh. So, again, it's clear there's not much that Echo are hiding. As for Onic, we can see that maybe if Keyboy doesn't find a good catch, then they can re-engage. I think that's one strength that Onic has, is the re-engage. They're not as reliant on the all-in as Echo is.
That's very true. Maybe they will find their opening. Eventually, the CW would have a great time.
There you go, Kairi jumping in all the way deep down, but Kairi's gonna fall here. He's gonna go for the cables. The fadeaway should not be able to kill him right now, but that was real close, so close. A bit too close for comfort.
What a pilot episode in our anime between Kairi and Carl TZ, right? The hot start there, a close call. Turtle already up. Carl TZ and Sanford on.
The Turtle, that's going to be Boots, trying his best to look for it, but Sanford finds first blood, and it's Echo on the board with the first Turtle. Kairi with the invade already right now has retribution advantage, but Yaoi's walking back in. Divine Judgment's right there, but Cable actually saves it for a bit. Kairi able to steal away the purple, but the Cable's there! But Carl's chasing him down. Keyboy forced to flicker out. Sans has stolen the Divine Judgment, but Onic They pull back. They do not want to stay too long.
Now, Kairi is playing so aggressively. This is, typically I know Kairi is not an aggressive kind of guy, especially with the Fanny. Surely he get kills and he will die for sure, but it's not like aggressive.
Wait.
Kairi.
Oh, yes, K-Boy.
It's
fine.
Alam mo, patayin niya ng
saying?
pop.
Yeah, I mean, Kairi is more of a calculated aggressor. He waits for his time, but this time it seems like there's no wait on Kairi. This love myself era is totally different.
Definitely, it seems like what happened yesterday and how he was after that sweep against EVO's Legend is propelling him forward. This is momentum on the one. Looking at their items here, it looks like Boots built the warrior boot, so he understands that, this is Echo Express. I have to accept that these basic attacks are gonna hurt. There's a pull!
Divine Judgment locking them down, and Kairi picks up the kill with that Master Assassin emblem. Clean combo gets them on the board, equalizing the kill score 1-1.
And they spot Boy, bouncing ball on through, Phantom Execution. Oh, here comes Chewe.
Are we just putting a spotlight on Kairi for the past 3 minutes? I guess that Kairi has been very quiet, only getting the turtle, but it was even uncontested. So this is scary though for Onic because it means that this Kraltizi is just going to be boiling for now, and when it does pop, you're going to be ready if you're Onic.
I mean, you don't last this long in the realm of MLBB sports if you don't have patience, right? We've seen Kraltizi through his child prodigy era. We've seen him through the tank jungler era. And now we've come full circle. He's back on the Lancelot starting this turtle.
Purple buff ready. Keyboy now with counter bench. At the race, it's going to be flickering. That's Kairi who picks up the kill on the go. Red tree on point. Kairi picks up the turtle right now. Sanford's going to be engaged on. Boots bouncing him up, bringing him back. Feather airstrike coming out to deal some damage back also. But Keyboy finds a good time's revenge to cancel that feathered airstrike up. Good trade from Echo though. They're already looking to rotate around, mirroring Onic up top.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely a tug of war. The first turtle going in favor of Echo uncontested. And we get to see through the replay how Onic managed to get the turtle and get the kill onto Kraltizi. And there are so many other ingredients that's very important here. Look at the positioning of Boots and Keyboy's timing. Pops the ultimate, no save whatsoever from Echo. The burst was there with Suns as well as Kairi just throwing everything onto Kraltizi. Even a Tank-Salon will not survive that kind of burst down coming out from Onic.
But just the same, you have to admire the discipline, the trigger discipline of Echo, because just any other mid laner might have popped the feathered airstrike there and still died.
Yeah.
And then Sanji and Sanford they understood, like, this is not a fight we should be taking. Let Kairi have this time. We will try to bounce back. So yeah, this is a clear win for Onic, who's up ahead now by about 400, 500 gold.
This is a very sketchy situation. Both flickers are up. CW asking the flicker onto him, but that's going to be the lockdown as well. Sans not able to respond it over. Sanji with the burst, taking CW down. And that is the Echo precision. Fast-paced combos. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a little bit of a skirmish between the one and the GOAT.
Yeah. How much damage do you want? Yes.
Echo read through that though. Onic, for sure that there will be a movement onto Chewe's lane, the gold lane. And Echo also have 2 people in there. It was a 3v3. It seems like they don't know that that's happening. At least they don't have the confirmation. But understanding the pattern of the opponent, they know that's happening.
That's a fadeaway as well. Kairi's still able to escape for now, but the fadeaway is going to hit him, and it's going to be the kill. Benny picks it up. The feather airstrike locks Keyboy down as Yaoi puts some slow onto him. Carl with the Phantom Execution onto the back right now. The Thorn Rolls as well, but he does not find a connection on those skills. But Echo have gotten back the gold lead as the turtle spawn.
What a conceal coming out from Keyboy to get out, but definitely Echo winning that fight, locking down the Fanny. Big props to Sanji actually connecting on the curse, and then he gets the stun afterwards. That's the reason why Kairi was brought down. There was an update on the Fanny, right? If you get stunned, your cables will not push through.
Oh, and what that leads to is a 1,000 gold lead for Echo. And this was a clear statement, a message to whoever's watching. Because if you look at Kraltizi's inventory in just a bit, he first built War Axe. So he's still on a one-way road to snowballing.
Well, Divine Judgment again, only on the Keyboy though. They gotta be careful right now as Kairi builds up the cables, jumps in on the back line without a Divine Judgment to play with. Benny's gonna be caught, but nice flicker to get out. That's a feathered, nope. That's actually the Wings by Wings used up by Sanji. He's holding on to that feather airstrike. The Divine Judgment actually connects onto KarlTzy, but the burst is not gonna be enough as the feather airstrike comes down with the flicker. Sanji's one, and he falls to Sanji with a brilliant flicker maneuver.
Oh, Echo really did outplay Onic in there. And Onic, they tried to go for a play. CW didn't have the stacks. He was actually just, you know, he's just like a spray gun, holding on to Echo, and they just got out. When Boots wanted to go for the play, the flicker was there from Benny Cutie. Then Boots was trapped, but it was Sans who was taken out afterwards because everybody was just dialing down on saving Boots. I think that's a bad decision from Onic overall.
Yeah, no. And to think it was Boots who was the aggressor. It was Boots who was cutting deep behind Tier 1, right in the middle of Tier 2, trying to get that mount on Sanji. And I gotta say, man, Sanji, I thought I saw everything. But here he outplayed 3 members of Onic and still got a kill on the way out. Spent the flicker, held on to the feather airstrike for the perfect moment.
Sans is no longer invincible. 1 death.
That's right.
Because of Sanji.
Because of Sanji.
Oh, Sanji. Of course, with the magic worship, you know that he's going to be packing up a punch. Believe that he does have the Clock of Destiny anyways. Oh, I think that Onic really just have to, you know, relax a little bit. I think that they're trying to match the Echo Express. And honestly, in this game, if you're looking at Echo, they're not even like putting on the gas pedal. They're just waiting for the steam to, you know, fire up.
It's not as fast. They're at 3rd gear, 4th gear tops here.
Yeah.
We've seen them definitely go much faster. And I think the fact that Onic are actually porcupines and not hedgehogs might be the reason why. They can't go just as fast, especially since they're still waiting for CW to farm up. They're waiting for Keyboy to get a good setup, and the whole disengage, re-engage won't work this early on.
Or dance. I believe that there's a lot of merit for Echo.
Divine Judgment, locking him down. Karl picks up the kill. Sans, he's gonna fall. Kairi now, knowing there's no Divine Judgment, wants to go for some kills, but KarlTzy evades from it. Keyboy charging up the target fence now with the rage as well. That's gonna be the first coming down as that's Yaoi picked off. Boots in the midst of it all right now with a flicker out with the split. CW clearing out the mid wave, jumping back to the BMI. Boots not stunned up, baits out the feather airstrike. Kairi still looking for the cables. Red Tree battle coming down. Karl versus Kairi. 50-50 on the board. CW jumps in a tie! Wins the Red Tree battle. CW jumps back right now with some damage once again, but Benny Cutie in the back as well is doing a lot. Jumps forward. CW should fall here, and Onic lose out 3 members.
3 for 1. Eventually, Kairi coming out with the Lord take. What's the economy on this?
Definitely Echo. Despite Onic just getting that Lord, even when Kairi had a level disadvantage, winning the fight, that is what matters more. They got 3 kills out of that, and now they're farming so heavily. And Echo, they will just clear out the waves. They're going to be A-okay. The fact that Benny as well as KarlTzy were untouched during that fight, that was massive for Echo. Onic, however, you know that they have a plan here. They wanted to go for the jump onto Yaoi, was able to get it. Then, of course, CW with his jump with the Blazing Duet was actually well done. However, the second fight afterwards, that is what Echo found and won, and they also got the economic advantage afterwards.
Well, Keyboy here, right out the bush, spotted by Sanford. No sneaky jumps here, and just like that, it definitely was a win for Echo. They decimate and destroy the Lord. Not much of an advantage. Kairi spotted out here, cabling on through. It looks like this 2K gold lead for Echo is small, despite going 8-3. Wait, there's a pull!
Only on the Boots though. He's still holding on to that split. And Onic will not let Boots get taken down. That's a bravest fighter as well, defensively.
It's a small 2K lead.
Yeah.
There's not much Echo can do with this until they find another angle, until they shot the system.
Another airstrike though. Boots now finally forced to pop that split. Even a conceal from Keyboy. Defensive maneuvers from Onic, reacting a lot to Echo's plays.
Echo's like, they're definitely like orcas, like sharks, you know? When they smell blood, they're gonna hunt for it. And this weakness coming out from Onic, where they already used the ultimate on Boots as well as the conceal, they are gonna smell that. And they definitely will make a play.
Just waiting. They are cordoning off where Onic is allowed to move. And as a Fanny, that's not the best thing to do. That's not an ideal situation. The one here isn't getting as much as he wants from the map. Yes, he's sitting at 3-1-0, but KarlTzy is just going ham on these objectives. The only real thing that KarlTzy left out to the open was that turtle that he lost to in the trade and that Lord. I'm wondering, we got a Lord coming in. about half a minute here. And it looks like Onic is just pushing the advantage. They understand that this is the tempo we have to go at.
Okay, Carl dashing forward right now is 1v1. Carl versus Kairi. Phantom execution, but Kairi wins out on the retry battle. That was for 2 retries, and Kairi won. The 1 is here.
Oh, the
This is
prelude
it.
to the next lore. Oh my goodness.
To be
Anime battle.
continued.
Did we waited for this? So what? That's what, season 2 or what? Or is it still season 1?
We're still in season 1.
We're
We're still in the
season 1, that's
beginning.
episode
It's
6.
game 1 out of best 5.
Okay, okay.
Yep, it's season 1. We've got the pilot, and then now we're waiting. It's a big fight!
Divine Judgment, it cancels out the famous spider! Sanford's gonna be shut down. T-Boy walking in the mid right now. We're talking about Divine Judgment. It's that's to be Sanji in the back. Now with the air strike, knocking Sans down. Sans going out, but the magic worship is dealing a lot of damage. It's called easy, move forward. Winner Crunch and bought right in time. The Thorn Rose is right there. Called easy with a kill. CW walking back, dealing some damage onto Carl. The goat, but the cable comes through. The Thorn Rose is there, but it's not enough to save the goat's life. Onic slowly but surely coming back in the game.
Ooh, very good start for Onic as they have found the opening. Sans finally getting a good start with a copy that Divine Judgment, but he died in the end. Still, the Winter Truncheon that they pick up very early. Arguably, at 13 minutes, you already have the Winter Truncheon. It was utilized in perfect purpose, I would say, for Onic because they bought time for Kaltizi to be put in a bad spot.
Onic pulled the rug right underneath Echo's feet. They were just waiting to set up. I think Echo was looking for this engage, the pincer maneuver here in bottom, but Sans, he went up and he tried to outplay Kaltizi. He tried to buy time, but they didn't know, they didn't see. Kairi was speeding down there, and oh, this is what? Notch one up for the 1 against the GOAT.
Important thing that to take note is that Chewa is quietly doing the right move, although he died twice. That was actually a good move that he did to zone out the remaining members of Echo. Then he went back to deal the damage to Kaltizi, then
Echo
contributed
versus
to the
Kairi
kill.
talaga.
Keyboy, after the snag of Sans already, it's weird that he still went in. That looked really dicey for Onic. They could have lost the fight because of that. But things have happened, and now Onic have equalized.
I think it's a matter of timing, and again, tempo. Onic are calling the shots at this point, and now they're making the most of their battlefield mobility. The speed at which CW can cut through the jungle compared to Benny Cutie, how Kairi just has energy all the time, and of course, Keyboy finding these odd angles, these diagonal jumps, is just going too fast. It's not speed-wise, but, you know, mentally overloading Echo.
Remember to change. Whoa.
Winner Truncheon!
Beautiful Winter Truncheon by Sans to escape the Divine Judgment. My goodness gracious. Wow. That's the Gila Sans we were expecting from MPL Indonesia, but my point earlier, I wanted to say, Carl actually jumps forward. Phantom execution. Aggressively moves down, jumps forward as well, Sans! Wait, it's 2v4! What is going on? They're still able to be alive, Boots! What? How? How did it happen? Boots finds a kill in the midst of Echo!
And he lives!
What?
Kaltizi! Really unnecessary. It's good. But then again, the secondary jump where Kaltizi it was punished because Boots went for the 1-2 and the flicker.
Okay, split, Divine Judgment. There you go.
There you
Finally,
go.
I mean, Boots, he's telling his team to be careful, but he needs to be careful sometimes too.
Playing
Wait lang guys.
Boots!
Boots!
Wow. Sans to escape the Divine.
winner try
You know, mentally overloading Echo.
Remember to change.
for the glue,
reaction,
and then it hit Kaltizi because Kaltizi not only jumped, he also utilized the Thorn Rose very earlier on. So that's why there was no way for him to dodge the 1-2 flicker from Boots.
What happened? The gold shifted so fast from CW because earlier it was Benny holding the gold lead like a massive one.
Now had 4 assists. The average also kicking in, and
That's right.
you have so much. This is critical mass. Like we were talking about, Onic have reached it.
And again, I'm just theorizing here. I don't know exactly the map movements, but CW has had an easier go at the lane, given the speed that Onic has just suddenly stepped on the clutch with. Now, this is a river controlled by Onic. You see how Echo are suddenly on the defensive. They're the ones who are scared.
For good measure, though, because this is a very strong lineup now for Onic.
There's so much re-engage potential. Even if they don't find their initial target, they can just reset. And again, even if it's just one, they take down one. And earlier, it was Carl Teasy within his own base, off of Boots who survived. That's the ideal here for Onic. Now they engage.
Divine Judgment now locking Keyboy down. He still has the mortality right now. Carl Teasy going to be able to dish out some damage. That's going to be the airstrike as well. Keyboy flickering out. Disengage properly. Carl Teasy versus Kairi on the Lord. Sanford going to be brought back to the team. CW does some damage. Who's going to win it?
Kairi.
Who is the red team?
Nag-ulti-retry ang puto, lala.
The world. But what are you going to do when 5 members are still alive from
Ulti-retry
Onic?
si
They
Kairi,
are
guys.
able to secure the
Execute.
Lord and win a team fight.
Kala ko mag-retry lang
Off
siya.
the back of
Inulti
Keyboy's
niya to sa retry.
perfect jump. Carl Teasy was compromised and Kairi just had to press the button. And now, they're threatening the finish. All 5. Just Sanjay Yawi left.
Kai with the cable, toss in the back, Sanji gonna be zoned away. Onic looking for the play right now as Yowie gets destroyed in the front. Sanji with a desperate attempt with the Predator airstrike. They're all marching down the flicker defensively. Onic have won a game and it is the first game in the
Ginawa nila
series.
ng nung M4, nanalo sila 1-0 agad sa Echo, tapos naka-assassin
An
si Kairi.
amazing start to what we all expect to go all
Labanan na
5
yan.
games. Onic finds a window, stops the speeding Echo Express in its tracks.
The chemistry from Onic and was there. And
Galing
Coach
ni
Yam
Kairi
wasn't kidding when he
mag-retry.
told me that he told everyone
Sasabihin niya
what they
speed
needed to
nito,
do in specific team fights,
Di ko expect
and they
gagawin niya yung
obliged. They
ulti-retry sa
happily
Fanny.
followed the format and the formula
Yup.
that Coach Yam and Adi laid out for them.
Ni Kairi
P-Boy
ang
had immortality, and he knew that
Palumpalo.
he can be the sacrifice. He
Magawa
played
na ng
the divine
assassin yan
judgment.
next game,
He
guys.
went back with a jump and
Pinaginawa
signed
nila ng M4, binanong nila ng
initiating with
assassin
the
si Kairi.
bravest fighter
Tapos tinriwan na
to
nila.
help Kairi secure that
Hindi
Lord.
nabigyan ng assassin si Kairi.
Retribution.
Gago, lakas
It
ng
wasn't
bot.
just Kairi's effort, it was the entirety of Onic just in perfect unison to win that game.
And now comes into play what Dilar mentioned. It's not as easy to take care of Kairi. He had a slow start. The first 2 to 3 minutes of this game didn't look very good for the one, but eventually with the help of Sans, with the help of Keyboy, and Boots in the odd angles, Onic scores 1. Gideon, you see that?
Moment of that game, and I was not expecting it to look like this. I really didn't. I thought it was the 1 plus the 4 that makes it work, not the fact that when it comes down to the neutral objectives, it's the 4 that
Kairi,
makes
guys.
up that
Oh,
1.
water break muna
Kairi,
kayo.
he's got a perfect team around him, and I think that
GG Onic,
in
game
one of
1.
these few times,